What exactly takes a decade? Now, this is a little bit of, I wouldn't say a stretch, but there are some outliers in this case. So just bear with me for this. I want you to look at what you're wearing right now. The car that you're driving, the glasses that you use, the company that you use for the razor, the shirt that you're wearing, the phone company that you use. What do all of these companies likely have in common? Decades and decades of experience, exposure, and awareness. And I think it's really important to think about this. So many of us question why we are not being seen as much as others, even if our product may be better. Maybe our business is better than some of these businesses, even if it's not. But why am I not being seen? The answer is simple. Time. If a business has been around for decades and you've been around for 10 minutes, how do you expect to get the same results? It just takes time. People ask me all the time, Zach, how do I see you everywhere? Yes, I am very deliberate in trying to be seen in as many places as possible, or be heard in your earbuds right now, right? Very intentional, very deliberate about that. But the real answer is that I've continued to basically do the same thing over and over and over again. I'm almost at a decade myself, right? Just in this kind of new business world. So why have you seen me so much? Yes, I've been deliberate. You hear me on the podcast. You see me on my weekday Facebook Lives. You've seen me on my TV show. You've seen me in press and other podcasts. And yes, I wrote a book and all those things, and those are great. But longevity matters. And I think all too often people question, I just don't get it. Why aren't I being seen? And then people quit because they didn't think they were getting the results that they wanted. And you might not be getting the results that you want. The problem is that these things just take time. And a lot of time. And so when you quit, of course you don't get the results that you want. And so someone asked me the other day, what's the number one reason businesses fail? And I said, basically, because they quit too soon. And I think that's true. Now, yes, there are businesses that probably didn't get off to a good start and stuff like that. And there's other reasons as well. But at the end of the day, longevity matters. So the reason you get one client is because you ask. The reason you get thousands of clients is because at some point you ask, but also they start finding you. It just starts to happen. Podcasts weren't popular 10 years ago. Now they're becoming very popular. Right? I'm just looking around at everything here. Right? WWE Championship belt. WWE is decades old. Spalding, the basketball that you see there. The Ninja Turtles. I got a lot of Ninja Turtle things I just realized. Love the Turtles. Las Vegas, 100 years old, right? Some of those books, 10 years old. RFK Stadium, right? Wilson, the football. All of these things that are consumed in my world, all are a decade old. And so if you're questioning why things aren't working, realize and recognize that these things take a long time. When you want mass appeal, it takes a very long time. Think about when Facebook started. Facebook simply started as a college directory for one school in Boston. And then Zuckerberg won that, then went to another school, and then to another school, and it was only if you had a college EDU. Amazon started as just an online bookstore in like 1995. Now look at it. I mean, they're trading at like $2,000 a stock, something like that. My point is this, is that sticking through the tough times will be beneficial for you in the long run because it gives you a longer chance for exposure, awareness, to be seen. And yes, you have to do all these things to be seen anyway. But then, from a longevity perspective, it takes a long time for the masses to see you. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. Literally, the clothes that we wear are almost always by brands that are at least a decade old. So when you're questioning, how long is this going to take? It's going to take a long time. If you remember, we talked about on a very early episode with Todd Kletz of 1 Hour Heating and Cooling. He told me about a new advertising campaign around a fake competitor called Bandit. And it took them a year, 11 months actually, 11 months to start seeing results from that. And they were throwing, I think, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, into that. It takes time, people. You cannot expect that just because you had one conversation with one person that you're going to get the ultimate goal and that 1 million people are going to see you and that millions of dollars are going to be thrown to you. It takes time. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of conversations. It takes a lot of follow-up. So if you want to be seen, stick with it for the long run and continue to meet new people, follow up with those people, create amazing relationships, provide tremendous and amazing value, and be awesome. And before you know it, it'll be a decade, and that one original friend that turned into a client will be thousands of raving fans. And those thousands of raving fans, a decade later, will be tens of thousands, or maybe even hundreds of thousands. It takes time and patience, and busting your tail to, of course, be the anomaly. So, if you want to be seen, if you want to be successful, go in it understanding that it is a very, very, very long game. But if you can stick to it and stick through it, the results will be insanely, insanely beneficial. I hope you have a great rest of your days. Zack Miller, out.